I forgot my camera strap at the studio and my flight's at 6:30. Hello everybody. I am out here in Phoenix, Arizona this weekend because I am shooting a wedding for Aaron and Jocelyn. Just wanted to give some context to why I'm out here. Every wedding that I shoot now, I'm always trying to get an assistant with me, no matter what, no matter where it is. So since I don't know many people in Phoenix and the people I do know weren't available, I reached out on Instagram to see if I could get anybody to be my assistant for this wedding. And lo and behold, I found Austin. Austin and I had a few Instagram DMs and he said he was down to come out. So, you know, I made sure to FaceTime him, make sure he wasn't a murderer or anything. We met at the airport and then we went out and got to our Airstream Airbnb trailer. Well, what's hot in here? The TV's a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be.
Nothing to see here.
Let me pet you. Okay. Wow, it is not cold here. Now, it's no surprise that one of the most sought after things in wedding photography is the travel, is going to cool places and shooting cool things. I'm not an expert on this topic, but I feel like I do have a few tips that I could share with you guys about what it takes to shoot in different places. So I'm gonna break down what I do and how I get some travel stuff, and then I'm also gonna talk to you about what I've seen other people do and how they've been successful in going places as well. Anytime I ask somebody to run with me, they always say no, but Austin said yes. Austin, do you run normally?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, quarter mile in. How you feeling?
Not great.
Nearing 1 mile. You got this. Hey, pace has dropped off a little bit, Austin.
Yeah, just save the energy for later. Make sure we have a good full day of shooting.
Gotcha.
But also just to make sure you're top of your game.
Yeah.
Don't want to wear you out.
Gotcha, yeah.
Like if you go down,
It's just, you're doing it for me.
I'm doing it for you.
Okay.
I mean, there's no other reason why.
All right, thank you.
Nothing I can think of.
Okay, all right, you gotta finish strong. Pick up the pace.
Home stretch.
You got like a 1/10 of a mile left.
Oh, let's go. You ready?
Yeah?
All right. Okay, I'm not that ready.
3 miles. Average pace, 9:12 per mile.
See you back there.
There's a pig rubbing.
My first tip is that you need to take every single opportunity you can to get travel stuff in your portfolio. Now, a lot of photographers will scoff at this and they'll be mad about people taking free work for travel. But the truth is, that's not a sustainable model. If you're doing things for free or very cheap all the time, there's no way you're gonna keep doing it. So what I recommend doing at first is do that work for free, do it at a discounted rate so you can show them that you do travel and you do that kind of work. And then as you continue to book more, you can continue to raise those prices and make it sustainable. For example, one of my past clients whose wedding I filmed, they asked me to do their 1-year anniversary session for photo. They had a pretty healthy budget and wanted to stay in Chicago, and I said, well, what do you guys think about going to Malibu? They were stoked about the idea because they always wanted to go to LA, so we made it happen. I made no money on the trip, but it's one of my best portfolio pieces. And now that I have that in my portfolio, it makes more people want to do stuff like that with me. Now, when you do travel, whether it's work or play, you should try to be showcasing that stuff to potential clients, putting that stuff on Instagram, posting it online, blogging about it. You could set up a styled shoot in the place where you're going and make it look as if you were shooting there. And then I also make YouTube vlogs whenever I go places to showcase that I go places. So just make it apparent, abundantly clear to the people who you're trying to sell to that you do this stuff. Pricing, one of the most important parts of this whole process, if not the most important, and part of the title of the video. I learned this from Logan Cole, Branch & Cole Photography in LA, that when you quote people for travel weddings and destination stuff, you quote them one price. You don't give them your standard rates and then add on travel fees for wherever you're going. You just make one standard price for a certain region around the country, or you make one standard price for local weddings and for destination weddings and make sure that those balance out eventually. So whenever somebody inquires with me for a travel wedding, I always just give them one price and I say, hey, this is my fee and that's it. There's something psychological about that, where they don't feel like you're adding and tacking on more that they have to pay. It's so nerve-wracking talking to a camera in public. Number 4, share your destination work throughout the year. I only do destination work maybe 5 to 10 times a year, but I'm constantly showing it on my Instagram feed and online. Every week, every other week. Number 5, the last one, probably the most important, is that you need self-awareness when you're doing this. You have to have something that's worth flying you out for. Your work needs to stand out visually, but your client experience has to be exceptional. It's true that people who book destination weddings and book photographers for destination work have friends who want to book photographers for more destination work. For example, my clients Ellie and Tyler, who had their wedding in Yosemite, their close friends of the family, decided to fly us out to film their wedding in Hawaii this year. So those are my tips and tricks, but I also want to share with you what I've seen other people do and how they've been successful with travel work.
Wash over me, let me fall from my surroundings. Take over me, over every rushing memory, if only for
I can't emphasize this point enough. Your stuff has to stand out from the crowd. You have to be doing something different than everybody else, than people who are in that area that they might book instead. Number 2, play the SEO game. SEO stands for search engine optimization. You can tag all your stuff in different cities, like the places you want to shoot, and your blog posts. You can make sure you put names in the titles, like places you want to shoot, styles that you want to shoot. That way when people search for those keywords, those places, they'll find your work. Bonus tip, Turo, T-U-R-O, is a great place for rental cars. It's kind of like the Airbnb of rental cars. That's my own little tip, not anybody else's. Sick pic, dude. Number 3, you can make connections with planners and venues and just being strategic in how you connect with people in the cities that you want to shoot in. All right, where am I going? Lastly, make deep connections with other photographers who do the whole travel thing. And yeah, they'll refer you to adventurous couples, or you can get tight with photographers in other cities that you want to shoot, and they can refer you to couples who are in that city. Disclaimer, just like all of Instagram, this stuff isn't all chalked up to what it really is all the time. You have to take it with a grain of salt. Tons of people post about their travel experiences and doing crazy and fun and awesome stuff, but it's not always like that all the time. I just want to be very clear with that. It's not super easy to be doing this all the time. And although it's fun and exciting and the opportunities can be endless sometimes and really hard to turn down, there are a few key things that I've come to realize in the past few years that make it super hard. First, it's loneliness. You're traveling by yourself a lot, and that's in part why I'm having somebody travel with me pretty much every time this year. The second is expenses. If you do it the way I talked about, where you're taking a hit on the price that you made, that standalone price, you're gonna have to realize that you have hotel expenses, Airbnb, rental car, flight, all that stuff. And so that's added expenses that you don't get in local weddings. So you have to factor that in as well. And finally, it's just more work. It's more dedicated time to be doing more things. Typical wedding in your hometown just takes a day, but travel weddings, it's almost always 3 full days you're dedicating to one wedding. So that's something to consider as well. One thing I do hope you guys take from these tips and tricks is that it's not a copy and paste thing. You have to make it your own. You have to use your own unique voice to do something different to stand out from the crowd. So go ahead and go do that and find the success leaning into what makes you different.